What's the number? I've heard that before. Jim Strickland is from Raleigh. Sandra Schwartz is from North Myrtle Beach. Their record, Bad Intentions. Sandra Schwartz. right, are you ready? Sandra Schwartz and John McMullen are both from North Myrtle Beach. Here's Buddy Johnson. It's audacious.
The only person that I could think of that could follow Jackie and Charlie is Sandra Schwartz. She has, I mean, let's face it, Sandra, she's just got so much pizzazz and she's just all together. She's a damn nervous wreck. Bring her out here. Oh, bless her heart. Sandra Schwartz said she grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, had 3 + 1 children. Is that right, Sandra? Named the last one Harry. You have such excellent taste. Bless your heart.
I thought it was yours.
No, not really. You knew better than that. But Sandra, it is our privilege to introduce you into the Hall of Fame. And you said some things in your biography that I think you'd like to probably reiterate right here. You feel pretty good? You calm down now? Okay, go ahead, do it.
Thank you, Harry. That's a very hard act to follow, Jackie. When I was young, I was skinny and shy, believe it or not. And I used to go to the beach with my parents in the summertime, and I would sit on the bleachers at this place called Sonny's Pavilion. And I was about 12, 13, and those guys they kind of walked funny, you know, they kind of slid across this floor. I had sand everywhere, and none of them had any socks. None of them had any money. But they wore the fanciest clothes. They wore these funky kind of pants that were real squished in at the ankle and had these little things that flapped on their pockets and gorgeous shirts that always looked starched. And they were my idols. And I would watch them out there, and they would walk up. They didn't walk up to me for a long time, but they would walk up to the girls, and they would, like, point to them. And we would sit back there and go. And finally, one day, somebody came up and finally picked me. I sat there enough summers. And I met some of the neatest guys that are still my friends to this day. Up in North Carolina, it was Shag and Tommy White, Harry Driver. Then when I went to Sonny's, it was, oh God, I can't even remember. There's so many good ones. And just to be selected by any of them to dance was great. And a guy named Mike Osborne from Kannapolis took pity on me one day and took me outside and said, come on, kid, you want to learn this? I'm going to show you something. And he proceeded to show me something called style and something about the music. And I came to love the music, and I came to love the dance, and I still love the people. And I cannot believe that I'm going to stand beside you. Thank you so much. I'm very honored.
Okay, Sandra, who you going to be dancing with?
Cadillac Jack.
Cadillac Jack Smith. All right, I want to tell you something before the music starts. Come here, Jack. Jack won on so many of the contests at Fat Jack's. We started to change the name to Cadillac Jacks instead of Fat Jacks. But Sandra is too modest to tell you. They have a dance contest named after her, and she was also named Dancer of the Decade at Harold's. That's quite an honor, Sandra.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, I got the beat tonight. Don't believe me, huh? Come a little bit closer. I got something I want to say to you. Then you'll hear this way. Come on, baby. Come over to my place. Come on, baby. Come over to my place. Now you might come in frowning, baby, but you leave a smile on your face. Come on, baby. Let me walk you through my door. Come on, baby. Let me walk you through my door. Give you good loving, mama, like you never had before. Now you tell me that you're lonely on this beautiful night. But I'm lonely too, baby, so the time is right. You just lost your baby, and I just lost mine. Ain't no need of feeling sad, cause we're wasting time. Come on, baby. Come over to my place. You might come in frowning, baby, but you leave a smile on your face. Look out, baby. Blow your horn. Oh, let me get some of that. You proper, and you know that's all right. I'm not the kind of fella that picks up a girl every night. But you got something special, such a pretty smile. That's why I want to hold you and love you for a while. Come on, baby, come over to my place. You might come in frowning, baby, but you leave with a smile on your face. Rudy! Oh, go ahead, Rudy. Oh, yeah. Some more of that. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Do y'all remember Frances Hyman?
I do.
She is a one of a kind, isn't she? I mean, she is so unique. Some of her dance styles is coming back now. Can you believe that? Some of the steps that Charlie and Jackie are doing are those little stutter shuffles that she's done all her life.
Yeah. There's one thing about Clarice that I remember the first time I ever saw her. She always wore short shorts and red or orange high-heel shoes. That was her trademark, was red high-heel shoes.
She danced in?
Oh, absolutely. And when she would walk, when the guys would sit out here on the curb at the pad, and they'd wait for Clarice. And she'd drive up in her old Cadillac. Well, it wasn't old then. But she'd drive up in that Cadillac, and when she would get out, she would prance up.
Like an entrance.
They would make a walkway for her, and she'd walk like this, and she'd say, "Save me a dance."
You are kidding.
And she'd go right on in there. And I would stand back there and say, God, I would have given anything to have been that I was so fat and ugly, till nobody would pay me.
I thought all the boys were rich. I didn't know that nobody had any money. None of us had any money. But somebody always had a new convertible every summer, and all the guys would be in it, so you didn't know who owned it. And they all wore those fantastic clothes that they still wear.
The big pants that they would take out
and they had little flaps on the back of their pockets, you know. When the wind got low, those chains hanging out, and they walked so funny. You know, they kind of slid across the floor, and the pants kind of billow out when they walked.
That's why Harry Driver used to pull his pants leg up because they were so long.
I wanted everyone
They'd get stuck up under the heel when they started dancing.
Well, you know, he told me a story about the way that step Harry Driver does when he pulls up his pants. You know, he said that he had a pair of pants on and they were too long and didn't have a chest to live them.
Then it became a basic.
So he kept pulling, you know, his pants leg up when you do a boogie walk. He said the next night everybody pulled their pants.
I had a pair of trousers, and they were brand new. I was trying to look real cool, you know, and one leg was a little longer than the other, and it getting caught in my loafers. So every time I'd go back, it'd get caught, and I'd pick up my pants leg like that. Next week, everybody on the beach was doing it because they thought I'd made up a new step.
Beth Mitchell started the boogie walk.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Glenda Johnson is, we call her the queen of the boogie walk in Charlotte.
But you know, if you'll watch a lot of the old Fred Astaire movies and all that, you see boogie walk, Sugarfoot, a lot of the steps.
But you hear stories about who started what, you know, I mean, and I had heard from Shad, I think, that JoJo started the boogie walk on the side of the road one day when he was waiting for a ride coming to the beach.
Do you remember your first drop spin?
The first person I ever saw do a drop spin was Mike Osborne.
That's who taught me how to
Mike
dance.
Osborne was the first person that
He
taught me
is
like that.
a real idol of mine, if I've ever had one. I mean, I didn't even idolize Elvis Presley.
A guy that I used to come down here, and you might have danced with him a lot, Tommy White.
He did a reverse drop spin. He would go the other way and come back
never
up
slow
like
down.
he just... Oh,
We used to go to Windy Hill at the pavilion down there dancing.
And where is Cadillac Jack? Why isn't he here now?
I don't know. He sure deserves to be. He's right up there. He ranks up there with Tommy White and Mike.
But I mean, that kind of style is what he had.
Yeah. I used to think that was just like indigenous to like the Piedmont area of North Carolina. I thought that that's where the smoothness came from, because it seemed like up in Raleigh they did all the stutter steps and the stuff like that, and moves where they moved more.
Right.
But it seems the people from Columbia, I noticed, that they dance real smoothly. Now the ones from Columbia, it seems like Linda Carroll's just
the dance is
changing.
You know, it's changing, I think, a little, constantly changing, and it's, to me, interesting to see the evolution of it, the way it's gone through the stages, and I think it's going back more to
Even
the original.
music is going back.
Which is thank you, Lord.
Well, you know, some of our steps were like swing steps, and they kind of went out when the dance narrowed. Plus, you know, we didn't get to do a step for about 20 years. The girls didn't. We had to hang on because
I always hot dogs until we started competing. Then they told me I couldn't, that I had to hold my basic.
Carl proposed to me at a Jackie Wilson concert. I was sitting on the third
34
row.
years ago yesterday.
Absolutely. I was 33 yesterday. I was sitting on the third row, the third seat from the stage. And Carl, he was down on his hands and knees with his arms spread over open singing To Be Loved. And Carl turned to me and said, would you marry me? And I said, you ain't getting out of here till I give you an answer. And I gave it to him right then.
A lot of guys did that, but then they disappeared after the song.
Yeah, you're right about that.
A lot of them were on their knees, but a lot of funny things too.
That's what's so great about That's what's so great about these SOSs continuing every year is the fact that not only do we have those memories, every year we recreate and make more memories. And the thing that is so unique to me about the SOS is that no matter what status you are in life as far as finances are concerned, you can be a doctor, a lawyer, a ditch digger, a construction worker, but nobody cares. Everybody loves everybody else, and it's such a Nick was trying to say camaraderie on his interview.
Well, you know, that's what's so great about having the Hall of Fame that was formed. God, I mean, here I'm sitting with the 3 prize catchers of this dance, and it is such a real honor. I don't think it, unless you're in it, you cannot realize how evenly distributed the love and the appreciation and the devotion, and it doesn't matter. It's if you have your own style, that is even better. You don't have to dance like somebody else. To the contrary, you need not to dance like somebody else.
Right.
Bad now too. Because a lot of people won't ask you to dance. They won't ask you to dance because they'll say, I don't know all those steps. I don't care if you'll just get me out there and dance. I mean, you don't have to know a lot of steps. People are under the misconception sometimes, men especially, that you need to know a lot of steps to ask certain people to dance, and that's not
have you
true.
noticed how the young dancers coming along Alaska? So they're not.
They're not.
Oh man, they love
we weren't when we were young either.
I'm the one that stands there and says, "What did you just do?"
Well, they do things that defy being done.
Oh, but you know, talking about taking lessons, Ellen, when you're young, you can pick up so easy, but that's why teaching now, if it's an older couple, right? Well, if it's an older couple, you have to break it down, or older person, you have to break it down because I think they get more intimidated, and younger people aren't intimidated. They don't know the word can't.
That's right. We would go home and learn our own, but you're right there. There's so many new styles and different styles, but yet everybody meshes together.
I don't know about you girls, but the dance has given me a connection to the rest of the world. When you're young and you're shy and everybody seems to be a little introverted when you're going through your teenage years, and to find something like this dance that is so healthy and so normal and such a good connection of communication, you don't have to say anything. Somebody can take your hand, whether you're 16 or whether you're 40 like me, and take you out on the dance floor, and you're ageless, and the communication starts flowing, and there is a one-on-one communication that you can have with a lot of really nice people, and I'm so glad that it's being perpetuated, and I'm glad that I live here at the beach and I'm able to watch the different people come and go down here each summer. But SOS will keep this place alive forever, and I would not have known such wonderful friends like you three. We all come from such different walks of life, and yet we're all so connected.
True.
And it's I don't know, I feel very blessed that I've been part of it. How about you, Rhonda?
I think it's the greatest. I have met some of the nicest people that I know of through Shaggy. And I feel like I've made some of the best friends. And like you say, of course, I'm a year younger than you. I'm 39. But I still enjoy dancing with a lot of people. And one special man in Columbia, Mitch Barku, I think everyone knows him. He's 84 years old, and his wife said people will say, you shouldn't let Mitch get out and dance, but dancing is what keeps Mitch young. And I think that helps all of us, and you can get out and forget your troubles, and you'd never know that anyone had any problems when they get out dancing like we do and just having fun. It's kind of a release from everyday problems. Mm-hmm. And you do meet nice people, really nice people that become very good friends. And that's how I've met y'all too.
It's a family. It's like, I wouldn't want to call it a cult, because that's not a very nice thing to say, but it's a big, big family. A lot of people in this day and time are going through divorces. A lot of people lack a lot of family members, don't have what they need there, and this has given a lot of this to me. When I was going through the loss of my mother, the loss of my marriage, it gave me some friends, and it's nice to get out on the floor and do a belly roll and hug a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. It gives you the fellowship you need, and you don't have to look for it another way. It's a very healthy way to have it, and that's what it's meant to be.
Let me say this, we have to mention Charlie Boone. Charlie Boone has given so much of himself to this dance, and especially to the whole thing. And through the years, when we were on the beach, Charlie Boone was one of the lifeguards right next on the beach. He was one of the ones who I admired and enjoyed watching dance. He's one of the best male dancers that any of us ever danced with. He's one of the smoothest male dancers. And Charlie has taught me a lot about this dance. When I mean taught me a lot, Charlie Boone has taught me how to love and how to appreciate this dance because of all that he has given to it. I have met Sandra and Wanda and Babs through this dance. I have met thousands of people. I may not remember all of their names, but when I walk down the street and they stop you and speak to you, it shows that they care about you. And that's what this dance is all about. It's the fact that I don't care how many thousands of people come down here. People say, why do you continue to go to SOS when it's so crowded you can't get on the floor and dance? But whether I get to dance or not, I get to see people that I don't see any other time. And that's what's so important to me about the Shag continuing to